For Creamer Media's Polity, I'm Motshabi Hoaeane. Researcher and analyst Professor Raymond Suttner discusses the Abahlali baseMjondolo and DA electoral pact. Thank you for your time, Professor.
Thanks very much.
Many people believe that the Abahlali was either naive or unprincipled in seeking a pact with the DA. What is your view on this?
Yes, there's a lot of criticism on social media about this, but my view is that this was a democratic decision and we have to respect the autonomy of an organization to come to a decision through their own processes, and even if we disagree with it, it is not for us to make the decision, it is for them to do so. There is a report on the way the decision was made, and there's no doubt that it was thoroughly canvassed. I have even heard, I don't know if it's true, that some of the leaders may not have supported this decision, but that was what people wanted. I believe also that it's very important for us to understand the context within which they took this decision. They were under attack. They have been under attack throughout their existence, and they have not voted before. And I think, well, they've made it very clear they've not joined the DA, and this is a pact just for this election to vote for DA in exchange for an agreement which would help to raise their issues, defend them from attacks, and so on. It was drawn up by a lawyer, and if the DA does not abide by this, carry out its undertakings, obviously what they may hope to achieve in terms of support amongst black people will be damaged by this. That doesn't mean that I think that Abahlali will definitely succeed in winning a level of support from the DA as an ally in defending itself. However, my belief is when you are under attack, you have to look for allies. And there are a lot of people who have got a lot to say about the immaturity, ideological immaturity of Abahlali, and as if there's like a ladder that one has to climb in terms of ideological development, a bit akin to what the whites used to say about Africans, that there's this long 1,000-year development. Now, in terms of many of the critics, unless you have taken the years before you become a mature cadre, you can't really develop the understanding, and this shows this. Now, I think the answer of Abahlali would probably be that Marx, Engels and Lenin books are not going to shelter them in their shacks, and they are not going to prevent them from being shot at and killed by the ANC. I nearly said the regime, by the ANC. And what is striking is that some of the most powerful organizations who call themselves left organizations didn't lift a finger to defend Abahlali. So the question really is, given that that was the case, can one blame them from seeking defense in a dire situation by this pact with the DA?
There are some people who also suggest that Abahlali, by forming this alliance, has left popular politics with which they were identified and embraced neoliberalism. What is your view on that as well?
Yes, a lot of people are using this sort of phrase. Personally, I would like to ban this phrase neoliberalism because it's a way in which people explain just about everything. And consequently, we don't really get to understand the specific conditions under which decisions are made, the specific character of even the South African state at the moment. Is called neoliberal by some of these people, and it doesn't. The way I understand the word neoliberal is that the state withdraws. You want the state to withdraw and allow private enterprise capital to run things. Now, in South Africa, the state provides extensive social grants. So, in my view, insofar as it fits that label of neoliberal, it does so in a very limited way. With regard to Abahlali, one can never guarantee what will happen with any organization. I'm not an expert on the shack dwellers movement, and it may well be that having taken this one step, which is definitely a very different step from any of their previous decisions, having taken this step, it may be easier for them to take other steps which are along this path to which is antagonistic to being a popular movement, but we don't know what will happen. My sense is, instead of sitting here at Creamer Media and making a pronouncement on the direction that Abahlali is taking or may take, people like me, but particularly people who have organizational backing, which I don't have, should actually engage with Abahlali, engage with them. And this links us to the question of building unity. Do we build unity only amongst those who are organized as working class formations behind Marxist-Leninism, or do we try to identify all those who suffer under the present government of violence, corruption, patronage, and a range of other irregularities? Do we try to identify all those and unify them? There can be unity which is broad, but within that unity you can have sub-unities that are much tighter. Now, whatever way you want to define Abahlali, they are part of the poorest of the poor. And if we want to unite those who are suffering under the present, it is important that other organizations that call themselves progressive, call themselves democratic, who, like NUMSA's president, want Jacob Zuma to resign, these people need to ask themselves, if Jacob Zuma is to resign, is that going to solve the problem? Are we not dealing with a series of problems which are faced by a range of people? We then need to identify who are those categories of people and organizations, talk to them. If one believes that Abahlali is doing something wrong and they are representing the poorest of the poor, they must be spoken to by other organizations in a spirit of solidarity and, as they would say, comradeship. So I can't guarantee the direction that they will take, but it's up to those who have the interests of the poor to stand with them, to meet with them, to talk with them over strategies and tactics, and help them insofar as they meet them with respect and as people who are an autonomous organization and engage over the way ahead.
Thank you so much, Professor, for those insights. That was Raymond Suttner on social movements and their vulnerability and lack of protection from repression.